What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here with another edition of Tobacco Talk, where I review a cigar and then I give you my thoughts on it in 4 key areas: flavor, draw, construction, and burn. It's everything you want to know about that cigar, but it's from my palate's perspective, and then I rate it as to whether I think it's nub-worthy or not. So the cigar for this review comes from the latest release out of the Crown Heads portfolio. It is not just a adjustment or change in vitola or size. It is actually a new blend that is under the Mil Dias line. This is the much anticipated, at least for me in my palate, this is the much anticipated Mil Dias Maduro. There you can see it right there. This is the Edmundo Vitola. I will get into the blend and everything about it in just a couple minutes here. But if we're going to review it and check it out, there's only one thing left to do. Let's light it up. Okay, I went with the baller cut from the Cigar Medics baller cutter. On the cold draw, I got to tell you, there's a really distinct, like, fruity sweetness that's on there, and it is really, really good. Yeah, a lot of people go to the traditional raisin or this and that. There's just a really nice sweetness that's naturally in there. And if you look at the wrapper leaf that's on here, you can see that there's a little bit of toothiness in it, and it's just got this really, it's interesting. It's like a combination between a toothiness and like a smooth leather kind of texture there on the wrapper leaf. Really, really nice. The aroma is absolutely incredible off of the body of the cigar from the wrapper. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this thing toasted up. Okay. Oh my gosh. Deep woodiness. Absolutely the first flavor note that just comes across the palate. Deep woodiness. There's an oak wood in there, but there's just a hint of like a KFC kind of fire cured kind of note in there. It's like a toasted woodiness note that's in there. Really, really good. As it mellows out, the wood note kind of calms down. There's some really nice leather and some coffee in there as well. Wow. Upon initial light up, this is absolutely delicious. Well, I'm going to jump into the first third. When I come back, I'll let you know the blend on the cigar, how it's going so far with the flavor profile, and anything else I think you might need to know. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the first third. As you can see, it's got a bit of a wave to it, but it's still holding on from the very beginning burn line. It's got a little bit of a wave, but overall, not much to complain about. Smoke just keeps coming right off of that foot, though. Okay, let me set this down here. Ash is probably going to tap off. Nope, stayed on. Let me talk about the blend on this one, because the Mil Dias Maduro is very different than the original line. And I'm going to take this straight from Cigar Aficionado's website, so it's press release information. It got sent to me as well, but I'm going to read it straight from Cigar Aficionado's website. It says, while the new line carries the Mil Dias name, there's more to the new cigar than just a new cover leaf. The entire blend is different. The original line consists of an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler from Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Peru, whereas the Maduro line is made using a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper atop an Ecuadorian Habano binder and all Nicaraguan fillers grown in Jalapa, Condega, and Ometepe. So that's the blend on it. Now let me tell you about the flavor profile in this first third. And the smoke just keeps coming off of the foot. This is just so good. So the flavor profile, that woodiness continued through in that first third. It tamed down just a little bit, but there's still that nice, like, toasted woody note. It's not charred, it's not burnt, nothing like that at all. But there's a really nice, like, cinnamon baking spice note that comes in on the long finish, and that leather is still there. The coffee is pretty much dropped off at the end of this first third, but that leather is still there, and it is very savory, very smooth. The draw is absolutely flawless. It's doing well. Strength right now, I would say, is probably at about a medium minus. Not a very strong cigar whatsoever as of yet. Who knows if it'll pick up? We shall see. But that sweetness of the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper that is on this is absolutely incredible. It's just a nice sweet tobacco note that's in there with all the different other notes, and it is just absolutely delicious. So let me tell you about the different vitolas that this is offered in. The Mil Dias Maduro will be available in 3 different sizes. The Edmundo, which is what I have right here, which is a 5 3/8 by 52 ring gauge. There's a Sublime, or Sublime, as some people may pronounce it, which is a 6 by 54. And then there's the Topez, which is a 4 7/8 by 56. I actually really want to get my hand on the Topez because I've had the Topez in the original blend, and I really want to compare them side by side. So we'll see. John, Miguel, if you see this, I'd love to do a side-by-side comparison of the two of them, one review. It'd be awesome. And they ship in boxes of 20. The suggested retail price for these range from $10.95 to $12.50. So now you know the blend on the cigar. You know that is very different than the original Mil Dias. Mil Dias, in case you don't know, means 1,000 days. So it took 1,000 days for this whole blend and everything to go through, for it to be made originally back a few years ago when it first came out. Gosh, that was probably 2020 or so, 2019, 2020, I think is when it came out. And it was absolutely delicious. And so that's the blend on this. That's how the Maduro is shaping up so far. When I come back, I'll let you know what the flavor profile is like, strength, all those different things. And we'll see if there's any other information that I can dig up that I think you guys might need to know. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the second third. See right there, it is nearly razor straight. There's just a little bit of a lift right there. But overall, it is doing very, very well. Okay, flavor notes in the second third. They continued to develop, and they took a much more dessert-like approach in this second third. The end of the first third, there was that woodiness, there was that like nice toasted note that was in there with some leather and some different things like that, the cinnamon. The second third took a turn straight into like chocolate dessert with a little hint of like a white pepper, only when you retrohale. It's not super strong and crazy noticeable, but there's a little bit of a white pepper when you retrohale. My mouth is just watering because it's enjoying this cigar so much. And that chocolate note mixed with a little bit of the woodiness is still there. There's a hint of an earthy undertone as well. Not very strong, not very prominent, but that chocolate, like cocoa chocolate, it's not like a brownie or gooey fudge, nothing like that, but a really nice chocolate note is in there, and it is absolutely delicious. So if you look back at the press releases, and I actually went back and looked at the press release that was sent out that I received from Crowned Heads when they announced this before TPE that just took place about a week and a half ago now, and actually about a week ago. And John Huber was quoted as saying that Crowned Heads, or he, started this with Aradio Pichardo back in the summer of 2023. And he didn't want to just come out with something else that was, okay, yeah, let's extend the Mil Dias line. He wanted to basically take it and redo it, still have it be under Mil Dias, but do something completely different with this as the Maduro. And so far, in flavor profile and everything, it is absolutely very different than the original Mil Dias blend that has been out in a number of different vitolas and iterations over the last few years that came out in 2020. And so now being, 4 years ago, essentially, that originally hit the market. Very good. The strength on this, I would say, is stayed at a good solid medium. It hasn't crept up. It hasn't gotten any stronger than that, at least for me. The draw is doing really well. Also, the burn you just saw, really, really good. The long finish now, as I've been talking and going through it, the long finish is just a really nice cocoa note that comes through. Again, it's not like a fudgy chocolate, nothing like that, but just a really nice cocoa note that's in there. There's a little bit of that cinnamon that's coming in as well, so it's almost kind of like a hot chocolate with a little bit of cinnamon in it, and it is very, very good. Yeah, it's delicious. So I'm going to jump into the final third of the cigar. When I come back, I'll let you know any changes in the flavor profile, any other information I think you might need to know, and whether or not this cigar is noteworthy or not. All right, let's wrap up this review. There you can see the burn right there as it's finishing up. Pretty much straight. No complaints from me whatsoever. All right. Final third. Ooh boy. Final third got even more into like the chocolate and that pepper note that was a white pepper that you mostly noticed on the retrohale. You've got some white and almost black pepper on the palate, more on the roof of the mouth, towards the back of the throat. is where I'm picking up that pepper note. And then when you retrohale, you definitely get some black pepper. It's not crazy spicy. It's nowhere near spicery level, but it is definitely there. But I got to tell you, this chocolate note that went from like a cocoa note is now much more like a rich, dark chocolate. And that pepper note mixed with it, there's a hint of that cinnamon that's still in there a little bit. The woodiness is completely gone. The leather is pretty much gone. On the long finish, you pick up just a hint of it. But for the most part, this is pure dark chocolate with some pepper and some cinnamon, and absolutely delicious. So, do I think it's nub worthy? Well, first, let me say, strength on this, I would say it ended at probably about a medium plus. Only be with the pepper and everything coming up. Definitely a full body experience in terms of the depth of the flavor profile. Definitely full bodied cigar. And the strength of this, I would say, is at a medium plus. It's picked up just a little bit more here in the final third, but it has been absolutely delicious the entire time. So is it nub worthy or not? 100%, no doubt, this is nub worthy. I would honestly skip past a 5-pack, skip past, oh, maybe I'll pick up one or two. If you've got a palate like mine, which usually is more on the lighter to the medium side of things, this cigar, though, is absolutely a box-worthy purchase. 100% box-worthy Mil Dias Maduro. Do not hesitate, because this is one that you are going to want to keep routinely in your humidor if you have a palate that is similar to mine. But if you've tried it already, obviously I got this one already. It came in my BL Luxuries box for February of this year, and I couldn't wait. I opened up the box, I saw that it was in there, and it was like, I know what I'm reviewing. That Mil Dias Maduro, I'm not waiting on it. Now, I've had pretty much every single vitola of the Mil Dias since it was originally released, and the favorite vitola that I have is the Moreva vitola, which came out, I believe, in I want to say it was 21, maybe 22, but that Moreva Vitola was my absolute favorite in the original blend. This, honestly, is a real close contender to match that. I enjoyed the Edmundo and the other Vitolas that the Mil Dias has come out in, but this Mil Dias Maduro in the Edmundo Vitola very, very closely rivals the Moreva Vitola in the original blend. Absolutely delicious. If you've had this, go ahead and leave some comments down below. If you're looking forward to it now, since you're seeing a review on it, and you're probably going to see more coming out very quickly, then let me know that in the comments. Is this something that you've got to get your hands on? I did not expect this to be as much of a chocolate-forward cigar as it is, and going from the woodiness to the chocolate to the dark chocolate with the pepper spice and the cinnamon and the toasted notes and everything, it takes you on a fantastic journey. Many of you know I love a lot of what Crown Heads puts out. I mean, last year in 2023, the La Vereda was my number 2 cigar of the year. I love what John does. I love what he puts out. But that doesn't mean I'm going to automatically say, yeah, it's nubworthy, you got to go get it. Every cigar is unique on its own. This one stands on its own. Absolutely delicious. Again, I'd go straight for a box if I were you. So those are my thoughts on this Mil Dias Maduro. I would love your comments to put them down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on it, especially after you try it. Come back, let me know if you got a similar experience and flavor profile and all of that to what I had here. But that's going to do it for this edition of Tobacco Talk. Enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you